Like I always want to do stuff that when we're doing stuff for music that fits it reminds you of who is this guy?
Man, Diddy's reach was wild. Politicians, billionaires, A-list stars, rap icons. He had them all in his corner at one point. Even 50 Cent once rolled beside him before things went south and they turned into rivals. But out of the whole music scene, there was one artist who made sure to stay far away from Diddy's world.
He's a guy that, one of my best friends, because I can trust that he's going to be honest with his constructive criticism.
Completely distant, like he wanted nothing to do with that circle. That artist? Eminem! Not in the 90s, not in the 2000s. Never. M kept his space, and the message was clear. When that fiery line from Fuel dropped, it hit different. But here's what people don't realize. By the time Eminem said it, he'd already been throwing shade and shots at Diddy for years.
Yeah, check this out. We don't talk about things that are nonsense. We don't even entertain nonsense.
Back when M was still fighting for a name, Diddy was already sitting on top of the game, running Bad Boy Records like an empire. That label was the dream spot for almost any artist, but not for him. Marshall had another vision. He wanted Aftermath, the home of Dr. Dre, and that's exactly what he got. Together, Dre and M started breaking barriers and rewriting hip-hop history. Even before fame, when M was just a hungry kid from Detroit, he still dared to take aim at Puff. Back in 1996, on the track Freaking Crazy, he dropped a sneaky jab that showed early on. Eminem wasn't scared of anyone in the industry. At the same time, M had another storm brewing with a different power player, Suge Knight, the man behind Death Row Records, home to legends like Tupac, Snoop Dogg, and Dr. Dre. Suge wasn't just known, he was feared. People called him the boogeyman of hip-hop, and not without reason. He ruled with intimidation, control, and straight-up ruthless moves. Suge Knight built his empire the hard way, by any means necessary. Fear, pressure, and raw power were his tools. But when it came to Eminem, none of that worked. He didn't back down for a second. Instead of hiding, M stepped right outside, face to face with Suge and his whole crew, ready to stand his ground like he had nothing to lose. After that wild moment, M even went as far as recording a diss track aimed straight at Suga, but it never saw the light of day. Dre stopped it, telling him, "That's not your battle, let it go." Still, that track eventually leaked years later. And wow, it was vicious. Every bar was like a punch, pure venom. So if Eminem had the guts to go at Suge Knight, one of the most feared men in the business.
I ain't never made a call to Diddy, really? I got Diddy's number, just hit him up. Yo, Diddy, what up? Never happened.
Then why would he ever be scared of Diddy? That's the real question. When you look at all the shady stuff surrounding Puff's career, it's honestly hard to tell who was more dangerous, Suge or Diddy. Anyway, back to the main story. Eminem didn't hold back on Diddy either. In 2000, on the Marshall Mathers LP, he dropped more disses, throwing shots that made the industry stop and listen. One line wasn't too crazy, but the next one, where he mentioned Diddy's then-girlfriend Jennifer Lopez and what he'd do if given the chance, went way darker. Then he hit with, "I have a son and a new brother at the same time, and just say that it ain't mine. What's my name?" Puff stayed silent.
Oh, man.
Does he know that?
Yes.
Okay, just checking.
How far along in the process are you guys of that?
We emotion.
No clapback, no jokes. Clearly, he didn't find any of it funny. Even with all those bold lyrics, there was never an open war between Eminem and Diddy in the early 2000s. Both men were running their own empires. Eminem was under Dr. Dre's wing, dropping multi-platinum albums back-to-back, shaking up the entire rap game. Meanwhile, Sean Puff Daddy Combs was stacking power and cash, expanding his bad boy empire, switching names like fashion from Puff Daddy to P. Diddy, keeping himself in the headlines. Their paths barely crossed except at big award shows or exclusive industry events where both showed up as absolute icons. Funny enough,
I'm gonna tell you right now, me and Dub C ain't never been to a Diddy party.
in 2003, Diddy was the one who actually handed Eminem a Grammy for Best Rap Album. The moment looked polite but tense. You could feel that quiet edge between them. Still, Diddy never denied Eminem's talent. In fact, he openly gave him props. In a 2003 Rolling Stone interview, Combs spoke with genuine respect, calling Eminem one of the greatest MCs ever.
Stole my mojo. I'm gonna give it right back, though. Give it back right now. Okay. Give me one.
He said, "I think Eminem's up there with the best of it," but then added that Biggie and Tupac were, quote, a different caliber. Even so, it was clear. Diddy recognized M's greatness and wasn't afraid to admit it, but their stories didn't stay completely separate. Through mutual connections, their worlds brushed up against each other again. In the early 2000s, Diddy had his eye on a rising star.
Now let's talk some hip hop shit, man. I want to talk to Puff right now.
Yes.
Now it was this documentary that claimed, which we know wasn't true.
Yeah.
50 Cent. But things got messy quick. Because of 50's street beef with Ja Rule, Diddy backed off, and that hesitation changed everything.
I'm gonna bring his 8 Mile to television.
50 Cent turned around and signed under Eminem and Dr. Dre instead. A move that exploded into one of the biggest success stories in hip-hop history. Tens of millions of records sold, endless hits, and a new dynasty born. In the end, Diddy missed out big. The same artist he passed on became a superstar under Eminem's own camp.
I told you you can't trust it. Puffy done killed Tupac, man.
For years, everything stayed quiet. No drama, no public tension, just silence. But in 2015, that piece shattered when the documentary Murder Rap Inside the Biggie and Tupac Murders dropped. In it, retired LAPD officer Greg Kading laid out his own investigation, claiming that Diddy allegedly ordered Tupac's murder for $1 million.
I told you you can't trust these niggas. Now Puffy done killed Tupac, man.
And that one of the shooters was Keffy D. That revelation shook hip-hop fans to the core. It didn't take long for 50 Cent to jump in. He immediately called out Diddy, claiming that the story might actually be true, saying Puff really had something to do with Pac's death. The whole internet caught fire over it. Then, a few years later, in 2018, Eminem stepped into the mix with his diss track Killshot, aimed at Machine Gun Kelly. Most of the track was about MGK, until that final line. M dropped, "I'm just playing Diddy. You know I love you." That one bar sent shockwaves everywhere.
His constructive criticism when it's time to listen to the music before it goes out.
Fans went wild online, arguing nonstop. Did M cross the line or was he trolling? Some even wondered if there was a hidden truth behind that "I'm just playing" line.
Hit the back at the same time. What you talking about? Look, if you into that, I'm fine with it.
Joe Budden later revealed on his podcast that Diddy was furious when he heard Killshot. Unlike before, when Diddy could shrug off Eminem's subtle disses, this one hit too close. Tupac's death is still a raw wound for him, a topic he avoids whenever possible. He's always denied any involvement and sidestepped the accusations whenever the media tried to press him. Later on, when Eminem sat down for an interview about the MGK beef, he hinted at something that said a lot without saying much. He and Diddy don't have anything in common, not even each other's phone numbers. That quiet distance spoke volumes. You'd think that after 2018, Eminem and Diddy would have stayed miles apart, but nope. Just a couple of years later, their names popped up together once again. In 2020, Eminem dropped Music to Be Murdered By, and in the explosive track Godzilla, he threw in a quick reference to Diddy. Nothing crazy, just a blink and you'll miss it line. But that calm didn't last long. By June 2020, a new scandal hit. An unreleased Eminem verse leaked online, a version originally meant for Conway the Machine's remix of Bang. And in that raw, unfiltered verse, M went off on Diddy's media company, Revolt TV, calling them out in a blunt, no mercy way. It was sharp, direct, and definitely not meant for public ears. The internet lit up fast. Within hours, Marshall jumped on Twitter to clear things up. He posted a statement saying the verse was written in the heat of the moment, never meant to be released, and that he actually respected Revolt and what they stood for. The apology came quick, but the tension was already in the air. Then came the real storm, and it didn't involve lyrics this time. In the fall of 2023, Diddy's world started crumbling fast.
That's why I don't be going to the Puffy parties.
Multiple women came forward with accusations of serious abuse and misconduct, shaking the industry. The biggest headline came from Cassie, Diddy's longtime ex-girlfriend, who filed a lawsuit filled with shocking details about years of alleged mistreatment and violence. The story spread like wildfire, and the world watched as Diddy's clean image fell apart overnight. And just when it couldn't get any messier, Keffy D, the same man tied to those old Tupac rumors, got arrested. Why? Because he'd been hopping on YouTube interviews, openly talking about his connection to Diddy and claiming that Puff once asked him to help take out Pac.
Hip-hop is black music. Unfortunately, for some people, it's tough to accept that you got a white artist that does it better than black artists.
A murder he even hinted he was part of. The whole situation turned into a scandal so wild, it dragged old Ghost right back into the spotlight. Riding the wave of all that chaos, Eminem came back swinging, dropping his album, The Death of Slim Shady, and this time, he didn't just throw shade at Diddy, he went straight for him harder than ever before. On the track Bad One, M spits about the infamous Diddy parties, hinting at the dark rumors surrounding them. He raps, "And me offering you is nothing new. It's what I love to do. This is subterfuge, just to screw with you, and yeah, this much is true." The line sounds playful, but everyone knew it had a sting. M was clearly firing shots. Then comes Antichrist, where Marshall brings up that disturbing video showing Diddy allegedly being violent toward his ex-girlfriend Cassie. The tone is cold, sharp, and unforgiving. M doesn't hold back, calling out the side of Diddy that many try to ignore. But the most brutal punches come from Fuel. In that song, M drops lines that cut deep, breaking down the wordplay between rapper and rapist, connecting it to SA as short for sexual assault, then finishing with RIP. Rest in peace, Biggie and Pac. Both of y'all should be living, but I ain't trying to beef with him because he might put a hit on me like Keffy D. Get him.
I think I belong in the girls' bathroom. And that is going on.
It was chilling. M didn't just rap. He accused, mocked, and warned, all in one verse. What's even wilder is that in the Fuel remix, he doubled down, claiming that Biggie's murder was just a chain reaction from Tupac's death. It was bold, dangerous, and brutally direct. After everything Eminem dropped on the death of Slim Shady, one thing's crystal clear. There's no friendship left between him and Diddy. M's loyalty stays with 50 Cent, and with how deep these shots went, it's safe to say he'll never be seen in Diddy's circle again. After the death of Slim Shady shook the industry, things only got darker for Diddy. The headlines kept piling up, and his once spotless image started crumbling in real time. Every new story seemed to reveal another layer of chaos, from lawsuits to secret settlements and whispers about what really went down behind closed doors. It felt like every week brought a new shock. Meanwhile, the internet went wild. Old clips and interviews started resurfacing, moments that fans now saw in a whole new light. People began piecing together connections, wondering if Eminem had been calling out Diddy's truth all along through his lyrics. The same verses that once sounded like clever punchlines suddenly felt like warnings. 50 Cent jumped into the mix again, posting memes, cryptic comments, and sly jokes online that kept fueling the fire. You could tell he was enjoying every second of Diddy's downfall. And of course, with M and 50 being tight, it didn't take long for fans to link their reactions and see it as a united front against Puff. What made everything even more explosive was that some insiders started hinting that Eminem had more unreleased material, verses that went even deeper into Diddy's scandals. Whether true or not, the rumor alone was enough to send fans into a frenzy. Everyone wanted to know, would Eminem drop another track aimed at Puff, or had he already said everything he needed to? By late 2024, Diddy's legal troubles had multiplied, and even major networks were distancing themselves from him. Sponsorships disappeared, collaborations were quietly canceled, and his reputation in the industry hit rock bottom. Through it all, Eminem stayed silent, calm, collected, watching it unfold from the sidelines. But that silence, it said everything. The message was clear. Eminem didn't need to say another word. The world was finally seeing what he'd been hinting at in his music for years. The storm he rapped about had become real, and this time, Diddy was standing right in the middle of it. By 2025, the entire story had turned into something no one could ignore. Diddy's empire was falling apart piece by piece.
To each his own. I'm just saying this shit, my motherfucking God. I'm like, it's uncomfortable.
Former friends started distancing themselves. Artists stopped mentioning his name, and the media couldn't stop digging into the endless scandals. It wasn't just gossip anymore. It felt like decades of hidden drama were finally catching up to him. Meanwhile, Eminem's name kept coming up in every conversation about Diddy's downfall. Fans were revisiting old lyrics, dissecting every line, and realizing how many times Marshall had subtly predicted this moment. It was like his bars had been warning signs all along, and now the world was seeing them with brand new eyes. And 50 Cent? He didn't miss a beat. Every new lawsuit, every rumor, he had something to say about it online. Memes, shady captions, and playful jabs. He turned Diddy's collapse into his own running series. But behind the jokes, it was clear. He was standing by Eminem's side through it all, solid as ever. Even hip-hop veterans started chiming in, saying things like, Eminem was the only one who had the guts to say what everybody else was scared to. That line alone spread everywhere, on social media, in podcasts, even in music discussions across the world. And as Diddy's situation grew worse, people began wondering what would happen if the two ever crossed paths again. Would there be words? Would it explode into something bigger? Or would Eminem keep his cool and let karma finish what it started? One thing's certain, this isn't just another rap beef anymore. It's a saga that's changed hip-hop history, exposing secrets, alliances, and rivalries that shape the entire industry. The legend of Eminem versus Diddy isn't about who's tougher. It's about who dared to speak when everyone else stayed quiet. And after everything that's gone down, one thing's crystal clear. Slim Shady said it first. And guess what? Diddy's taking all this very seriously. After 50 Cent dropped that explosive documentary, Diddy reportedly sent 50 a bouquet of funeral flowers, a chilling move that had people talking non-stop. So it's totally possible that he's still holding a grudge against Eminem too. The tension between these powerhouses isn't just music drama anymore. It feels personal. All of this proves one thing loud and clear. Eminem's never been scared of anyone. Not Suge Knight, not Diddy, not a single giant in the industry. He's always spoken his truth, no matter the risk, and that's what keeps his legacy untouchable. If you want to dive deeper into this wild story, check out the next video. Why Diddy is accused of ordering Tupac's murder. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and drop a comment with your thoughts. We've got way more drama to uncover.